Hello children, welcome to AIMS online classes. In today's video, from mathematics subject, progressions topic we are going to discuss. Our today's concept is regarding sum of an infinite ZP children. Sum of an infinite ZP. Infinite ZP means geometric progression is a sequence. Geometric progression is a sequence in which the common ratio is same throughout the sequence. Now 2 into 2, 4, 4 into 2, 8, 8 into 2, 16. If except the first term, all the other terms are obtained by multiplying with a fixed number to its preceding number. That resulting sequence is called geometric progression. If in that sequence, the number of terms are infinite, not countable, infinite, so then it is called as infinite ZP. For that infinite ZP, if we want to find sum of the terms, actually though it is infinite, but approximately we can find the sum of that infinite ZP. That topic we are going to discuss today. So let A be the first term, R is the common ratio, and in the case of infinite ZP, the value of common ratio should always be less than 1. It may be positive, it may be negative, but modulus value of common ratio always should be less than 1. So then only we can find the sum of that kind of infinite ZP. So if the sequence follows these conditions, then sum of infinite ZP is given by formula S infinity. S infinity equal to A by 1 minus R, where S infinity stands for sum of infinite terms. A by 1 minus R, A is the first term, R is the common ratio. But here the condition is modulus of R should always be less than 1. So then only this formula is applicable. So actually before finding S infinity, we have normal formula for Sn. We have normal formula for Sn, sum of n terms, which is A into 1 minus R power n by 1 minus R. But here R is less than 1. As R is less than 1, so then this R power n value is negligible. R power n value is negligible. So that's why, because R is less than 1 means already it is in decimal. Suppose 0.1. If you have power 9, in the place of n we have 9. 0.1 whole power 9. Then it will become 0.00000 something 1, whose value is negligible compared to 1. So that's why we can directly keep actually it is negligible. If we separate them, A by 1 minus R, we will have one component, and 1 minus A into R power n by 1 minus R. This we can split it into two parts. Since the modulus R is less than 1, R power n almost approaches 0. Its value almost negligible or almost equal to 0. When n is infinity, when n is normal number like 9, it is almost very less than 1. But if it is infinity, then definitely it will almost reach us to 0. So therefore in this place, as R power n is 0, this total second part will become 0, and we will be having A by 1 minus R minus 0, which is equal to A by 1 minus R. A by 1 minus R. So this is the formula for sum of infinite terms of ZP. So infinite ZP has finite sum. Infinite ZP has finite sum, means whose sum can be counted only when modulus of r is less than 1 or r lies between -1 and +1. R lies between -1 and +1. In this case only we can find the sum of infinite terms of the infinite ZP. So now we have learned different formulas for sum of ZPs. Suppose we want to find sum of n terms of a ZP. If n is finite, r is not equal to 1, then this formula, a into r power n minus 1 by r minus 1, this general formula. In this one also, if r is less than 1, r is greater than 1, we have two different formulas. If r is less than 1, then the formula will become a into 1 minus r power n by 1 minus r. And r is greater than 1, we have to use this formula. If r equals to 1, what happens? 1 power n, this total value will become 0. So that's why this formula we should not consider. If we have 2 here, if r is 1, means we have to multiply with 1 for getting the next term. 2 1 is 2, next term 2 1 is 2, next term 2 1 is 2, 2 1 is 2, like that n times. If the r is 1, then all terms will be equal, all terms will be same. But here, as the first term is 2, 2 is repeating n times, whose value is 2 into n, or n into 2, or n into first term, which is a. So if r equal to 1 and n is finite, no need of formula. So directly we can find the sum with the simple product na. If n is infinity and the modulus of r is less than 1, then we have the formula a by 1 minus r. Like this, for finding the sum of terms, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Three more main 4 formulas which we have to use according to the given condition given in the question. Next. So, extreme values of ax square plus bx plus c. So, what are the extreme values of ax square plus bx plus c? So, here ax square plus bx plus c is a quadratic equation, or it's a quadratic equation. If we assume it equal to f of x, if we assume it is equal to f of x, so f of x equal to ax square plus bx plus c, it is a quadratic function. So we have a quadratic function here, which will be having a minimum value and maximum value based upon the x value, and based upon the a value. So in this quadratic function, if a is greater than 0, then this function will always have minimum value at x equal to minus b by 2a. When x equal to minus b by 2a, at that place it will be having the minimum value, and that minimum value is 4ac minus b square by 4a. If a is like greater than 0, a means coefficient of x square. If a is greater than 0, the quadratic function will have minimum value at x equal to minus b by 2a, means in the place of x, if we keep minus b by 2a, at that value this entire function will be having the minimum value, and the minimum value formula is 4ac minus b square by 4a. At what value it will have minimum value means this one. What is the minimum value means this one. Suppose if a is less than 0, then quadratic function will have maximum value at x equal to minus b by 2a, same value, and the value is 4ac minus b square by 4a. the x value is same and maximum minimum values are same, but whether the value is maximum or minimum depends on value of a. If a is greater than 0, function will have minimum value. If a is less than 0, the function will have maximum value. So if we check the proof for this, we have ax square plus bx plus c. This is the quadratic function equation. So where so here this quadratic equation can be written as like this. This can be written as like this. If we expand and solve this, this value will be equal to ax square plus bx plus c. So this value depends on a value, because this value is having square. It is always positive. If a is greater than 1, this total value always a positive value, and if it is added to this 4ac minus b square by 4a, which will be always greater than 4ac minus b square by 4a. The sum of these two, the sum of first one and second one, these two values, if a is positive, the sum of 1 and 2 always greater than or equal to 2. Always greater than or equal to 2. In what condition? If a is greater than 0. If a is greater than 0. Suppose if a is greater than 0, so if a value is more, if a value is more, if we divide with more value, the numerator, if we divide the numerator with more value, the resulting value will be less. In fractions, we will be having, suppose 8 by 2, 8 by 4. What is 8 by 2 value? 2 4 times 8. What is 8 by 4 value? 2. We are dividing with smaller number, value is 4. Dividing with bigger number, value is less. So in the fraction, when the numerator is divided by bigger number, the value will be minimum. It's not maximum, children. The value will be minimum. So the value will be minimum because we are dividing with the bigger number, with more number. So, and that value will be at this x value minus b by 2a, because if we keep in the place of x minus b by 2a, this minus b by 2a plus b by 2a cancel, this total value will become 0 and we will be having only this value. We will be having only this value, and that value will be minimum. That value will be minimum. So this ax square plus bx plus c can be written as this. This is the first part and this is the second part. In this 1 and 2 part, if a is less than 1, this square value always positive. If a is less than 1 means, if a is less than 0 means it is negative value. Negative value into positive, we will get negative value. Negative into positive, we will get negative value. This negative value minus 4ac minus b square by 4a. So if it is 0, it is equal to this one. If it is minus, it will be less than this one. The sum of 1 and 2 will be equal to 4ac minus b square by 4a or less than it, because we are having negative value as first value. If it is 0, it is equal to second one. Sum of 1 and 2 equal to second one. If first value is negative, sum of 1 and 2 is less than second one. Okay. Now, if a is negative, the value in the denominator will become less. If numerator is divided by less value denominator, then total fraction value will be more or maximum. Total fraction value will be maximum. So if a is less than 0, this total value will be maximum, and this will be maximum when we keep in the place of x minus b by 2a. So like this we can prove the maximum and minimum values of quadratic function, children. So next we have about harmonic progression. We can learn in our next video. So thank you for watching our video, children. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for receiving latest updates. Thank you, children. Have a good day.